Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how VidSwap.com can be used for lacrosse. So what we do at VidSwap is when you upload your games to us, we actually break it down and edit it for you with a good base set of tags. So for example, we'll go ahead and we'll break it down by periods, face-offs, who won the face-off, possession, who has the ball, the clears, were they successful, were they failed, when they're in the attack area, man-up situation, shots and the results of the shots, ground balls, who won the ground ball, turnovers, and things like that. And so what that allows you to do as a coach is you can log in and then immediately pull up any situation or any play that you need to. And then your team can too. So when you're in front of your kids, and you're doing a film session, you can cut that film session down so much by being able to pull up just the stuff that you want to. And then when you're by yourself too, and you're studying, you're scouting, you're going to be able to pull up and get so much more out of it in so much less time than having to go through it manually and by hand. And then you're also going to be able to go in and add more specific things to it too, because we've done the base set for you. We've done most of the hard work for you. You can go in and then start tagging coaching review points, player notes, specific offense, defense, and play calls, and things like that. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek at what each part of the application is. So this is our player window right here. And this is where you can play back the video. You've got full playback controls. So you can play pause. You've got slow motion forwards. You've got slow motion backwards. You've got your fast forward. You've got rewind. And then you've got a step forward 5 seconds button. And then a step backwards 5 seconds button. And you've also got keyboard shortcuts for these. And you can use a remote control. So on the right, this is our playlist window. And this is where you can upload and manage all of the games that you want to share in VidSwap. And this is where then you control which games are being broken down by us. So you can upload games that are broken down by VidSwap, or you can also upload practices, and then also games or scrimmages that maybe you don't want broken down by us. And we've got a multi-select here on all these games, so that way you can do a multi-game analysis over 2, 3, and 4 games, any number of games that you want. And then you can also, in this window, download any games that you want to your desktop, and you can email any of these games. So maybe you want to share video with an opponent, maybe you want to share video with a scout, with a parent, or anybody that you need to be able to share the video with. What's great is when you send this link to them, they click on it, it pulls up this same interface. So they can watch the video, they can look at situations, and then they can also download the video to their desktop if they need to use it for something else. So now in the bottom window, we've got our timeline. This is the timeline editor. And we use a timeline editor because in a sport like lacrosse, when things are happening nonstop, there's a lot of things going on that are overlapping each other. You're going to want to be able to pull out the big things like entire possessions, but you're also going to want to be able to pull out individual little things like maybe shots, assists leading up to the shot, things that happen just before the shot. You're going to want to be able to look at just the clears, just times when they're in the attack area. Maybe you want to look at just the ground balls that are happening, the technique around the ground ball. So the timeline allows you to pull up big things and little things, not just possessions, because you don't just want to always pull up the possession. If you want to see shots that you had, you don't want to pull up the entire possession and then have to go find the shots and the technique around the shot. So the timeline allows you to do that. Pull up exactly what you want, whether big or small. And in the timeline, you can see it goes from the beginning of the game and then to the end of the game, and then it also goes to the next game because I've got a multi-game analysis on here. And on the left-hand side, we've got the tags that we actually do for you. So we've got the periods, the face-offs, the possessions, the clears, the attack area, the man-ups, the shots, the ground balls, all those things that we talked about earlier that we do. And in the timeline, then you see that we've got these blue instances. These are the actual clips that are created. So these are every time that there's a possession. These are every time that there's clears, and so when you click on the timeline, then you can take a peek at these points in the game on the timeline. So now let's say you want to get in and actually start looking up situations and plays. So you can do that by going to the filter right here. So here in the filter now, we can pull up any situation that we want to. So let's go ahead and pull up. Let's do possession. I want to see every time that Burnsville had the ball over these two games. So let's apply it. So now this pulls up a filter of every time that Burnsville had the ball over the course of these two games. So now I can start to watch that. And then I can now interact with it. So I can slow it down if I want to evaluate any pieces of these. I can then navigate on to the next possession that they had. Now let's say I want to get even more specific. I want to see all of Burnsville's failed clears. We'll apply that. And so these are the 4 failed clears that they had over these two games. And then I can evaluate, okay, what went wrong? Okay, I can get more specific too. Maybe I want to take a peek at all of the shots that we attempted. So these are all of the shots that Burnsville attempted over these two games. Maybe we want to look at every time that Burnsville is in the attack area. So let's go ahead and choose attack area. We'll apply that. And now we can watch every time that they're in the attack area. Maybe I want to see all the ground balls. Clear that. Let's go to ground balls. I want to see maybe all the ground balls won by Burnsville. Now this shows me all of those ground balls that Burnsville won, and I can then watch them and evaluate. Maybe I can evaluate technique. So this gives you a really good idea of how powerful the filter is in pulling up the specific big or little situations that you need to. So now from here, let's say you want to actually add more to what we've done on top of it. So maybe you want to add specific coaching review points, specific offensive, defensive play calls, player notes, anything. You can do that by going into the tag area, and then you can add your own tags along with the system tags that we've done for you here, and then you can define what you want to tag. So that way, then when you're in any of these games here and you go into tag mode, you can now tag your games with extra things like coaching review points, specific play calls, maybe highlights throughout the game. So that's a pretty good look at how you can use VidSwap.com and Lacrosse. And again, the biggest thing that we do is we break down the games for you. You upload your video, we break it down with a good base set. We take all the work out of it for you. So you've got instant access to any situation, and then we make it that much easier for you to be able to add your own and get so much more out of the video in less time. If you want to learn more, go to vidswap.com or email us at sales@vidswap.com.